Let's bring in Arash Azizi, contributing writer at The Atlantic. Arash, what are you hearing from your sources about this deal and the timing of it tonight as this big celebration is happening at the White House?
Well, the timing matters, for the United States. But for Iran, this is an important moment. It's an effective end to the war, and it's an effective end to the war. And it also, in the last 24 hours, 48 hours, a hardliner fringe really came out strongly against this deal. So it's very much. It's a very important moment for people actually running Iran now. Bagher Ghalibaf, the Speaker of the Parliament, others who've shown that they have the backing of Mojtaba Khamenei, the Supreme Leader. They carried out negotiations, they carried out the war effort, and they came to a deal all against the opposition of these fringe hardliners who find themselves in a precarious position after this. We have to see, of course, how the negotiations will continue now. It's just the first step, but it's very much a momentous political time in Iran, and a very much important news for folks like Ghalibaf and others who are running Iran that showed they can actually hold power and carry out these negotiations successfully.
Arash, you've probably heard some of our colleagues, and our coverage this evening has been focused on the terms of the memorandum or memo of understanding, which we have not yet seen. I'm wondering if, from an Iranian perspective inside Iran, there is any more clarity on that. Have the Iranians, from either state-run media or official news organizations or semi-state-owned news organizations, have they given any more clarity as to what the terms of this memorandum of understanding looks like? Because so far in the last 12 hours or so, we have not gotten that much more clarity on what's in it, the sequencing of what plays out over the course of the next several days before Friday, when it is supposed to be signed.
I think they're worried about leaks. They're also, if you see the language of the Pakistani Prime Minister, he said sort of pre-implementation. So it looks like the implementation is only to start on Friday, which starts some questions. But look, here's my understanding. I think starting from tomorrow, there will be a gradual opening of the Strait of Hormuz by both Iran and the United States. I think in the next few days, Iran will receive something like $12 billion of its frozen assets, its own money that was frozen. It will start receiving that. And I think a framework, and of course, in this MOU, Iran would also declare that it's not going to build a nuclear weapon. This is not a new promise. Iran is a member of the NPT. It has always promised that. This was also in the JCPOA. And then after the signing in Switzerland on Friday, a process will begin of 30 days to 60 days, where there will be negotiations over substantial issues. So in most ways, this just ends the war and opens the Strait of Hormuz. It doesn't actually get some money for Iran. I'll tell you one more thing. There might be provisions about removal of Iran's HEU, highly enriched uranium. There might be provisions in the MOU about that at the end of this process, or as the negotiations are going on, or it opens the path to either be diluted on the Iranian soil or be shipped outside. So that's my sense. The leaks that are in Iranian press are not really trustable, but by speaking to different people and looking at different sort of texts, that's the general sense that I have. And also, it's important to remember one concession. I mean, I put it in quotations because it depends how you look at it. But the important concession from the Iranian side is that for a very long time, the Iranians were saying any form of agreement has to recognize our sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz. We're going to charge a toll, things like that. Nothing like that is going to be in the final agreement. Iran will have some sort of ad hoc agreements to charge some service fees. Basically, they're going to say there are things that Iran does as a host there that we never charged for before, but we'll charge for now. But nothing like a toll, which should have been, of course, a violation of international law and international sovereignty. It was never going to be a real thing. But Iran sees that as some sort of a succession, and the president also is going to sell that as a succession. He did point out no tolls in his message to declare.
Arash Azizi, always good to have you. Thank you so much for your time tonight.